Imagine downloading an antivirus program to protect your PC. You trust it to fight off hackers and keep your data safe. But instead of fighting hackers, it starts a literal gang war with another app on your desktop, and your computer becomes the battlefield. In 2010, the two biggest tech companies in China essentially hijacked hundreds of millions of PCs, forcefully uninstalling each other in real time. This wasn't a malware attack. This was the craziest corporate cyber war in internet history. Let's go back to the late 2000s. Antivirus software used to be expensive. But then a Chinese company called Qihoo 360 did the unthinkable. They made their antivirus completely free. It conquered the market overnight, but free means you are the product. To make money, 360 aggressively locked down users' browsers, forced their own search engines, and blocked competitors. They were the police, but they acted like the mafia. Enter Tencent, the absolute titan of Chinese tech, who owned QQ, the messaging app installed on literally every single computer in China. Tencent saw how much power 360 had over users' desktops and decided to launch their own antivirus. 360 panicked, so they released a privacy protector update. Its only job? To constantly pop up red alert warnings telling users that Tencent QQ was secretly scanning their private files. This meant war. The two softwares began actively attacking each other inside users' operating systems. 360 started blocking QQ's ads. In retaliation, Tencent deployed an update that refused to run if 360 was installed.
Here's the part most people miss. This war was never just about antivirus quality. It was about controlling the desktop entry point. Whoever owned your startup flow, your default search, and your homepage owned the traffic. And traffic meant money, influence, and long-term lock-in. In other words, this was a battle for distribution power disguised as a security debate. Then came the nuclear option. Tencent popped up a message to hundreds of millions of users, basically saying, "We have made a very difficult decision. You must choose. Keep our chat app or keep their antivirus. You cannot have both." While giant companies fought for control, regular users took the hit. Office workers lost access to chat during active workdays. Home users got flooded with warnings, uninstall prompts, and unstable systems. People were forced into fake choices they never asked for. The software that promised protection started behaving like coercion. Trust collapsed, and users paid with time, stress, and control over their own machines. Imagine turning on your PC for work, and your computer forces you to delete either your main communication tool or your security system. Users were absolutely furious. They were hostages in a billionaire corporate fight. The chaos was so massive that the Chinese government had to step in. The Ministry of Industry ordered both companies to immediately stop the cyber war and publicly apologize to the nation. Then came the fallout. First, public outrage at massive scale. Second, regulatory intervention forced both sides to stop escalation and issue apologies. Third, a market reset. After this incident, aggressive compatibility attacks became far more politically and commercially risky. The 3Q war ended, but it permanently changed how people viewed platform power and user consent. The 3Q war ended, but it revealed a terrifying truth. In the Wild West of the Chinese internet, the software designed to serve you can turn into malware the second its corporate overlord pushes a button. This story is old, but the pattern is still alive. Back then, the battlefield was desktop antivirus. Today, the battlefield is defaults, recommendation systems, and ecosystem lock-in. When one platform controls your entry point, it can shape what you see, what you trust, and what you choose. So the real question is simple. Who should control your computer, you or software vendors? If you thought this was crazy, wait until you hear how a guy in his bedroom built a fake Windows OS and forced Microsoft to surrender. Watch that story right here. Subscribe to uncover more of the Asian tech underground. See you next time.